There's an old saying that to err is human. But in fact, that's not true. Because the part of your mind that analyzes information to make decisions and solve problems is actually incapable of error. Think of your analytical mind as a computing machine. But it's not just any computer. It's a perfect computer. It never makes a mistake. Your very survival depends upon it always being right. But its solutions are only as good as the data that it computes with. When the reactive mind enters hidden, irrational information into your calculations, you compute or react in an irrational or aberrated manner. The word aberration means a departure from rational thought or behavior. Basically, it means to err, to make mistakes.
Oh my God, please don't throw that! Please don't throw my guitar, Morgan! My God! Why did you throw my guitar, Morgan?
Your analytical mind doesn't know its calculations are being corrupted by this irrational data. In fact, it doesn't even know the data exists. That's because during those moments in your life that contain some degree of pain, your analytical mind shuts down in an effort to protect itself, like any sensitive machine would. At that point, your reactive mind immediately takes over and starts recording. This is a cruder, more rugged part of the mind, constructed to withstand the shock of pain. But these incidents aren't memories as we think of them. The experiences recorded in the reactive mind are called engrams. They're like movies, except they contain all your perceptions: sight, sound,
Are you okay?
smell, taste, and sensation, including everything people are saying around you during the incident.
Came out of nowhere!
Engrams are complete recordings, down to the last accurate detail, of every perception present in a moment of pain and unconsciousness. The pain can be physical pain, like when you're injured, or emotional pain, like the shock you get when you experience a loss. The unconsciousness could be total, such as when you're knocked out from an accident, or when you have anesthesia. Or it could be times when your awareness is dulled, such as when you're sick, injured, or when your body is poisoned, such as with alcohol or drugs. Now let's take another look at the example of getting sick from eating tainted food, which acts as a poison to your body. It's an engram. When you later find yourself in a situation that is in some way similar to an engram stored in your reactive mind tries to get you to avoid the same painful thing from happening to you again. But it does so in a very crude and irrational way. That's because your reactive mind doesn't think the same way your analytical mind does. Your analytical mind thinks rationally. It compares things and sees the differences between them. For example, if you were asked to organize these blocks by shape and color, your analytical mind would have no problem. That's because it sees the differences between them. It thinks in differences. This is analytical thought. Now, you know analytically that an egg you eat today is obviously not the same exact egg that made you sick when you ate it 3 years ago. That's rational thinking. But the reactive mind is so crude it can't differentiate between things. If asked to organize these blocks, it would think every block is identical to every other block. It thinks anything is equal to anything else. This is called reactive thought. To the reactive mind, if a bad egg once made you very ill, all eggs you eat after that will also make you ill. This is because to the reactive mind, they're all identical. It can't tell the difference between the two eggs, or between now and then. But this goes even further. To the reactive mind, any piece of information in a specific engram is identical to every other piece of information in the same experience. For instance, let's say someone was playing the tuba while you were sick from eating an egg. To your reactive mind, every egg is identified with every other egg, and all eggs are identified with the feeling of being sick to your stomach. And feeling sick to your stomach is identified with the sound of a tuba. So later in life, if you hear a tuba playing, you could start to feel nauseous. Your analytical mind will rationalize that you feel sick for some other reason. This is called justified thought, the excuses you make to explain irrational behavior. But in fact, your reactive mind, acting below your level of awareness, is turning on the same pain from the original engram to stupidly warn you to stay away from that tuba, because it's identified tubas with getting sick to your stomach. In Dianetics, this reactive type of thinking is referred to as anything equals anything equals anything, or A equals A equals A for short. In lower levels of life, this reactive behavior is a survival activity of a sort. When a fish is injured, his reactive mind records all the perceptions regarding the injury. And whenever these later appear in his environment, his mind will make him run away. But in a human being, this survival mechanism has long outlived its usefulness, but it's still there. What if it's not merely an egg that you're being irrationally warned against? What if it's someone you know? Or something you do? Or something you want to achieve? Your reactive mind operates solely on a stimulus-response basis. It's attempting to aid your survival, but its wild errors are actually just suppressing your efforts to survive.